Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. I share my 20 plus years of trading experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin above 50,000, woohoo! $50,073. Well, 75 now, up 5.69%. Ethereum, 3749, up 6.03%. I have hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Our community is all about real wealth. Real wealth is about integrity, confidence, kindness, friendship, all the things that make life worth living really. Inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning. But there are two aspects to wealth. There's this positive real wealth and there's negative wealth as well. Negative wealth reduces real wealth. Its negative wealth is how the past can steal from the future in the present moment. People, when they feel regret or resentment, they're unfriendly, they feel stress, they're selfish, they feel hatred, anger, sadness. All of those things are indications of negative wealth. Our community is much more about real wealth than just financial freedom. You could have millions and millions of dollars, but if you have millions of dollars and negative wealth, you're not going to feel very happy. Rule 402, positive, which means real, or negative wealth. So real wealth or negative wealth is always growing. It's absolutely correct. Whatever action you take, micro actions, any interaction with other people, even your thoughts to yourself, you are growing positive or negative wealth, always. Wealth is always growing in one direction or another. When you interact with others, wealth is always shared. Negative wealth shared reduces real wealth. Negative wealth is a really ugly thing. For example, if you've been around critical people who are abusive, who are stressed out all the time, it's hard to feel that you're getting inner and outer peace from that experience. When you act or interact with people who are really revengeful or conceited, very angry, do you want to be around those people? How do you feel? Do you feel drained or do you feel energized? Here's a really interesting point from Frank Delaney. The difference between a friend and an enemy is friendliness. Wow, that's a big revelation. That means all you have to do is act friendly towards people and they can turn into friends even if you don't know them. It also means something else, that if you're interacting with people in an unfriendly manner, you're actually creating enemies. It's therefore far better that you share friendliness. Friendliness grows real wealth. As Ted Turner said, Ted is a multi-billionaire. Ted said, treat people with dignity, respect, and friendliness. It's absolutely essential to do. It doesn't matter how superior people think they are. Everybody needs to be treated with dignity, respect, and friendliness. The very fact Ted Turner said this, and Ted is a multi-billionaire, really points to the fact that it's really important to treat people fairly. For many years, I've been a senior management consultant and trusted advisor to multi-billion-dollar corporations. One thing that I was always called in to do was to sort out disputes within teams and between teams. I developed a lot of strategies to help people get along with each other. It's quite amazing how productivity takes a nosedive when people aren't friendly with each other. People lose interest in doing good work. They become disengaged. disengagement has tremendous cost for organizations, but it also has tremendous cost for the people feeling that way. Disengagement is literally when people just switch off and just want to be somewhere else. It's important to understand that a lack of friendliness grows negative wealth. You do not want negative wealth. Negative wealth takes away from your wealth. A lot of people in the crypto space are so good at marketing. They're saying, oh, you get into crypto, you can buy a Lamborghini and you can retire. Really, that's not what this is all about. Crypto is a literal change in the economic system. It can deliver all of those things. But if you have negative wealth and lots of monetary wealth, you just won't feel happy. What's the point? It's really important to have positive wealth or real wealth. Ralph Waldo Emerson had another good thing to say about friendship. The only way to become a friend is to be one. Absolutely correct. If you would like a little tip, it's to approach things day by day with just a little bit more friendliness. You will see that you actually brighten up people's days. It's a really, really nice thing to do. Some people think that being friendly is a sign of weakness. It isn't at all. It's not true. Being friendly takes a lot of strength, especially when people around you are being rude or ignorant. Don't worry about how other people act. Pull on your inner strength. Put a smile on. Not a fake one, a real one. Be real, be authentic. It's really nice to interact with people on the basis of friendship. That generates real wealth. Desmond Tutu said a really nice thing. We are made, that is, human beings are made. We're made for goodness. We're made for love. We're made for friendliness. We're made for togetherness. All of these things are real wealth. Financial wealth never substitutes for these things. That's why it's really important to focus not just on financial wealth, but on the meaning inherent in life. All of these things, they're really, really important. I hope that explains a little bit more about why our community is really focused on real wealth. Real wealth is much more than money. Money is simply security and choice. If you have inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, you have friendships, you have love, generosity, selflessness, kindness, authenticity. Those things are beautiful. That's what really makes life worth living. I'd like to say thank you very much for everyone that's bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. I really appreciate it. You showing your generosity to me is really heart-touching, and I love the things that you write. And you don't need to write anything either. Some people don't, and that's absolutely cool. It's really lovely to see that generosity and kindness of spirit. Thank you so much. And I will be putting out a special video for the coffee club within the next week or so. As my way of saying thank you for your generosity, I do very much appreciate it. Rule 174, the TQ method, trend, timing and trigger. We're going to get into trend so we know which way the crypto market is heading. We'll use the KS process to determine the true trend. The first thing we do is look at investment substitutability. The stock market, S&P 500, up 27% over the past 12 months. Gold down 7%. Bitcoin up 365% over the past 12 months. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin trend. A long-standing community member reached out to me by direct message and said, Ken, can you look at the number of addresses with a non-zero balance and tell me about this euphoria stage that happens here? When we see the number of addresses spiking up, it's because there's a lot of unrealized profit in the market. It's coming up and up and up and up. It gives us a way to understand what particular segment of the market cycle we're in. we see when we have a very sharp increase like this, we're getting close to a blow off top. And we can see that through price anyway. It's going up the lift and it comes down the stairs. That's what we understand anyway. Now, what is happening at the current point in time? We're not seeing anything like this. We're literally starting to get going. When we see this ramping up of euphoria of unrealized profit in the market, it will become unsustainable. When too many people are profitable, the shorts will come in and redistribute that wealth. That is the symbiotic nature between longs and shorts. That's why it's really important to track NUPL, net unrealized profit and loss. When we get up to the euphoria stage, which is this blue stage, we go from green into blue. That is accompanying this blow off top, where price is coming up literally in the lift. It's going straight up the wall. What do we see here at the moment? Nothing like that at all. That means we have a degree of time to go before we see this kind of price behavior, and it will come. And you say, Ken, what makes you so sure? Rule 111, crowd psychology creates price. It creates price, crowd creates price in every single market. Crypto is no exception. It's a natural market. From January 21 to June 21, 19.2 million new users were added to the crypto space every month for 6 months. That's quite a lot of people. That's quite a lot of crowd psychology too. Looking at KS model, the crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we're currently in the bull market psychology phase of the market run. We're in the lead up to this exponential blow off top. I analyzed some on-chain data to determine that we're sitting roughly around here in the past bull market cycle. That is, according to the on-chain data, we're about here, just there. We can see there's a bit of a roller coaster ride to the top before we get this exponential blow off top. The really interesting thing here is from this low to this high was a 245% increase. That is literally straight up the wall. The important thing to keep in mind is the price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up, then down. Keep this in mind. There are always chances to add, and there are going to be some pretty steep declines. Get used to the concept of 30, 40, 45, maybe even 50% declines. Just steel yourself towards that. Understand, grow strong against it. If you expect it, it's not going to shake you out. I've just done this realignment over Bitcoin's current price action. I mentioned that in all likelihood September would see Bitcoin's price go up if it follows the same bull market psychology as the last cycle. We're talking mainly in terms of direction, not so much in terms of magnitude. But you can see this is already starting to play out. Looking at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see more and more funds are being deployed into stablecoins and into Bitcoin at the moment. When we see this in past cycles, you can see there's some up and down movement. This actually tracks with price quite well. You can see a certain degree of association here. It's a really good indicator to look at. We can see that the crypto market is being supported by fund flow. Let's have a look at the market indexes. It's always important to deal with problems when they occur, not before. Looking across global markets, we can see Russia came up, China, India, all through Europe, Canada, the US, Brazil, little bit of red in Mexico and Australia, but overall quite green throughout the world. Turning to the US markets, on sector performance, real estate was the highest performing sector, up 1.69%, followed by utilities, communication services. From the bottom, energy lost 1.51%, and then financials, industrials, and materials. Let's compare Bitcoin to the stock market indexes. We saw the Nasdaq come up. Bitcoin also improved in price. The S&P 500 came up as well. Dow Jones came up, and the Russell 2000 came up also. This is all about pattern recognition. You're just trying to understand the correlation between Bitcoin and the major indexes. Comparing Bitcoin against the DXY, that's the US dollar currency index, we can see the DXY has been decreasing and Bitcoin is increasing. Still, the DXY is in an uptrend and Bitcoin is in an uptrend too. Comparing Bitcoin against metals and the inverted DXY, we can see the inverted DXY is very closely associated with silver. Silver came up last night or the previous trading session. Platinum came down, palladium came down, copper went up, and gold was relatively flat. Bitcoin came up. Let's have a look at Bitcoin compared to bonds. We can see Bitcoin came up. We can see the 1 to 3 years, the 3 to 7 years, the 7 to 10 years all came down. The 10 to 20 year and the 20 year plus had a slight improvement, came up just a little bit. Comparing Bitcoin to bond yields, we see Bitcoin coming up here. The 30 year just came down a little bit. The 10 year was fairly flat, just a little bit of downward pressure. The 0 to 5 year high yield corporate debt came down quite significantly. There's a lot of economic commentary on hyperinflation, deflation, inflation. All we have to do is actually track what the inflation rate is. The 5-year break-even inflation rate and the 10-year break-even inflation rate show an uptrend, a retracement, and a resumption at the moment. There was a slight tick up in the last trading session on those, but we're not seeing anything like hyperinflation or indeed deflation either. The Federal Reserve wants to push this inflation rate down to around this area down here. We can see we've had a bit of a downward reduction. The Fed is saying that the inflation that's been caused is due to supply shocks and other health-related incidences pushing prices up. The Fed sees this as being temporary and expects inflation to come down around this area. Let's compare Bitcoin to the airlines and transport indexes. We can see the airlines in white here. This is really good to note that the airline indexes and the transportation indexes are all improving currently. That is very satisfying to know, because if we get a lot of divergence between the transportation indexes and the main market indexes, that can say the trouble is brewing. We don't see this now. They're all improving. That's why we look at so many different transport indexes. We make sure we're tracking them all as one group. Comparing Bitcoin to Brent oil and crude oil, we can see Bitcoin came up. There was a slight uptick in Brent oil. Crude oil just decreased a little bit. Let's have a look at crypto stocks. Let's have a look at Bitcoin compared to public companies with Bitcoin exposure. Over the past 14 days, we've seen Hut 8 in the lead, followed by Mara, Marathon Digital, then SI, Silvergate Capital, ARB, Argo Blockchain, Riot Blockchain, Hive Blockchain, Voyager Digital, then Bitcoin, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, Coinbase Global, Galaxy Digital, BTBT, which is Bit Digital, MicroStrategy, and BitF, which is Bitfarms. Looking at the public companies with Bitcoin exposure over the past year, the top performer, Argo Blockchain, then Voyager Digital, Marathon Digital, Bitfarms, Riot Blockchain, Hut8, HVBT, Hive Blockchain, Silvergate Capital, Galaxy Digital, MicroStrategy, Bit Digital, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, and Coinbase Global. Let's have a look at Bitcoin compared to Bitcoin ETFs for the past month. We see GDLC, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, out in front, followed by BitW, the Bitwise 10 Crypto, followed by Bitcoin, then 21XB, BitC, the CoinShares Physical Bitcoin, followed by BTCX.B, CI Galaxy Bitcoin, followed by BTCC.B, the Purpose Bitcoin ETF, followed by BTCQ, the 3IQ CoinShares Bitcoin ETF, followed by EBIT, the Bitcoin ETF, followed by 9-point Bitcoin ETF, BitC, on the TSX, followed by QBTC, the Bitcoin Fund Canada, then GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and in last position, OBTC, the Osprey Bitcoin Trust. If we analyze the Bitcoin ETFs over the past 12 months, BitW is the only crypto fund that actually exceeded Bitcoin's price appreciation. It was 339% versus Bitcoin's 320%. All the remaining ones were below that, namely QBTC, 21XB, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, BitC, the 9-point Bitcoin ETF from Canada, and CoinShares Physical Bitcoin, BitC, on the 6th, followed by BTCC, BTCX, BTCQ, EBIT, and OBTC. Let's have a quick look through Grayscale's Digital Large Cap Fund, specifically its components: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, and Litecoin. Looking at the components, Bitcoin is under its previous all-time high, just consolidating in price. Ethereum is rallying really strongly, seeking to take out the previous all-time high. Cardano, ADA, is above the previous all-time high and in price discovery. Bitcoin Cash is still quite below its previous all-time high. Litecoin as well is quite substantially below the previous all-time high. Chainlink is below, but we can see some fairly strong price action here. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can be notified as content comes out at various times throughout the day and night. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.